Hello and welcome to Friday's programme. I'm John T. Messer.
And I'm Kylie Pentelow. Coming up tonight between now and 6:30.
Good evening. People living in Devon and Cornwall will have to pay more for policing after a council tax rise was approved.
The Forces Police and Crime Commissioner Alison Hernandez says the money will pay for more police officers and a new headquarters in Bodmin. We'll hear more from her in a moment, but first, Nick Smith has this report.
Well, earlier I spoke to the Police and Crime Commissioner for Devon and Cornwall, that is Alison Hernandez, and she told me the money will be used to increase the number of frontline officers across the region.
On to other news now. And the Cornwall Partnership NHS Trust has been told it must improve the quality of its services. England's
Well, meanwhile, councillors in Cornwall have sent an open letter to the Health Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, raising concerns about the future of Bodmin's healthcare provision.
The Town Council is calling on the government to spare the hospital from any cuts following fears about the closure of minor injury units in the county. Grace Pascoe reports.
Next on tonight's programme, tons of plastic washes up on the shores of Devon and Cornwall every year, and organisations across the region are taking steps to reduce plastic use.
Well, following in the footsteps of Modbury, which became the first place to introduce a plastic bag tax, Plymouth is now trying to become the first city in the country to go single-use plastic-free.
Businesses are now looking at more inventive ways to package their goods as well as they look to cut back on plastic, as Elodie Harper has been finding out. Now, you are watching ITV News here in the West Country with Kylie and John T this Friday. And thanks very much for your company. Still plenty more to come on the programme before 6:30.
And after us, the ITV News continues with Alistair Stewart at 6:30. Here's the details. Now, all this week there have been events to mark Holocaust Memorial Day, and as part of that, Exeter Cathedral played host to a very special guest. Anita Laskar-Valfic, a survivor of Auschwitz, says the fact that she was able to play the cello saved her from the gas chambers. She's one of the last known surviving members of the Women's Orchestra of Auschwitz, and last night shared the remarkable story of her life while her son Raphael played the cello. She spoke to us during rehearsals. Anita Laskar-Valfic with her story there. Now, a veteran from Plymouth has won a prestigious award after taking on some of the world's highest mountains, including in Antarctica, during his recovery from post-traumatic stress disorder. Daniel Claricoats was... That was Daniel Claricoats there. Time to move on to sport now, and this time last week we were looking ahead to Yeovil Town's FA Cup match with Manchester United, but this weekend attention turns to the women's competition. Well, the fourth round sees Yeovil Town ladies take on Arsenal and Plymouth Argyle up against Leicester City. Well, the Pilgrims are the lowest ranked team left in the Cup, but have their sights firmly on reaching the next round, as Jeff Welsh now reports. And good luck to them. By the way, that match is subject to a 10 o'clock pitch inspection tomorrow morning. Well, in the other games involving our men's sides, Plymouth Argyle entertain League One high flyers Blackburn Rovers. On to rugby, and all of our sides are playing tomorrow. Exeter Chiefs take on Saracens at Sandy Park in the Anglo-Welsh Cup. Now, the latest series of Endeavour begins this weekend on ITV. It tells the story of the early career of Inspector Morse, the fictional detective, of course, created by Colin Dexter. Yes, and the new episodes feature a young actor from Plymouth, as Kevin Ashford now reports. Looks good, doesn't it? Now, Prince Albert of Monaco is used to living life in the fast lane and navigating the windy roads of the French Riviera. But I've got some help from my friend the internet here that says that Prince Albert is one of the wealthiest royals in the world, with assets valued at more than £1 billion. That why you're looking him up on Twitter? He can. He can just pop over, can't he, if he wants to Cornwall? Why wouldn't you?
You can buy lots of go-karts.
As you can see, Bob has joined us for the weather forecast. Bob, it's been a very chilly few days, hasn't it?
It has been a chilly few days.
Likely to continue?
Up and down. Well, I'm going to...
Bob, thank you very much. Well, just before we go, a quick reminder of the main headlines here in the West Country this evening. But it is goodbye from all of us this week. The late news tonight at the usual time of 10:30. But now I'll hand you to Alistair Stewart as the ITV News continues. From all of us here, have a lovely weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.